Hello, this is Mr. Stansbury. I'm going to take you through the notes on normals. At the end of this, you should be able to say, I can find the equation of a normal to a graph at a given point. So, first things first, a normal to a curve is a line which is perpendicular to the tangent at the point of contact, which is the point of tangency. We're used to finding just the slope of we're just finding the equation of the line, the tangent line. Now we're going to find the equation of the line that's perpendicular to the tangent line. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Okay, so here's the pink is our graph here, and this green line here is the tangent to this point, and the normal is perpendicular to this tangent line. Okay, it's important to note that they both actually go through the same point, so they're going to have the same x and y coordinates. The normal is just going to have the perpendicular slope there. Okay, so let's do this. Let's take a look at an example. Example 3, find the equation of the normal to f of x equals negative x squared plus 4x plus 1 at the point where x equals 1. Okay, so what we're going to need to do, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. There's our point slope formula, right? So we need our slope, we need the x coordinate, and we need the y coordinate. We already know that the x coordinate is 1. Okay, so we can find the y coordinate by simply plugging in 1 into this original equation here. So f of 1 equals negative 1 squared plus 4 times 1 plus 1. So f of 1 is negative, 1 squared is 1, opposite of that is a negative 1 plus 4 plus 1, and f of 1, that's really y. So and our y in this case is going to equal 4. So now we have the x, we have the y. Now we just need to come up with the slope. Okay, so what we want to do is we first want to find the slope of the tangent. Okay, so whenever we're looking for slope of the tangent, that's going to be our derivative of this, right? So f prime of x, it's the derivative function. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Subtract 1 from that, and we're left with an x, right? And then, let's see, this is x plus 4x. The first 1 times 4 is 4. And then we subtract 1, and the x's are gone, and the derivative of any constant is 0. So here's our derivative function. So to find the slope of the tangent, we plug in 1 into this. So f prime of 1 equals negative 2 times 1 plus 4. So f prime of 1 is negative 2 plus 4. So really this is the slope of the tangent equals 2. Right? Now, that's the slope of the tangent. So the slope, the perpendicular slope, will equal, to find the perpendicular slope, you always take your slope of the tangent, and that's 2. I'm going to put that as 2 over 1. So to find the perpendicular slope, we find the inverse reciprocal is the official mathematical term. What I like to do is I like to call it flip and switch. I flip this thing over. So it was 2 over 1, now it's 1 over 2, and I switch the sign. It was positive, it is now negative. So the inverse is switching the sign. The reciprocal is flipping it over. Inverse reciprocal means flip and switch. Okay, so this is the slope that we want to use in here. So we do negative 1/2. So we get y minus 4 equals, distribute this negative 1/2 to both of these, and we get negative 1/2 x. Negative times a negative is positive. Half of 1 is a half. And then we add 4 to both sides. So we get the tangent line, the normal, the equation of the normal line is going to be y equals negative 1/2 x plus 4.5. Okay? Okay, so just so we can see what it looks like, I put the original equation and our normal equation in there, and let's graph this thing and see what it looks like. Okay, so here's our negative x squared graph, and then the point is at 1. So right here at 1, Looks like the tangent line is going to be right there, so that's going to be our normal line that goes through. Okay, so it looks like it, I mean, it looks decently close. So we'll go with that, but just so you can understand what we're looking at there. Okay? All right, let's do one last example here, but before we do, let's take a quick comedy break.
As soon as you born women, you're born with responsibilities. As soon as you born, they hand you little, they give you little fake babies to take care of. And tiny vacuums and stoves and stuff. Then you start looking at us like, who's gonna help me with this? Lady, I'm 7. I don't care about that baby. I don't know why it's crying. Take the batteries out. I didn't give it to you. My G.I. Joe don't cry. You got the wrong toy.
All right. Last example here. Find the point where the normal to y equals x cubed minus 4x squared plus x plus 3 at 2, negative 3 meets the curve again. So we have our point slope formula. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And look, this one's nice. It gives you both the x and the y coordinate. So look, we've got y minus negative 3 equals m, our slope of the normal, not the tangent, but the normal. And we got x minus 2. So we just have to find the tangent to this thing, and then we can find our equation. So to find the slope of the tangent, we've got to take the derivative, right? So we do y prime equals 3 times 1 is 3. Subtract 1 from that, and we get 3x squared. Minus 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. Subtract 1 from that, and that's x. And that's x to the first. 1 times 1 is 1. Subtract 1 from that, and the x is gone. And the derivative of constant is always 0. So there's our derivative. Okay? Now, if we want to know what the slope of the tangent curve is at that, we're going to want to plug our x into this, right? So we're going to plug 2 in for both of these x's here. So we got y prime equals 3 times 2 squared minus 8 times 2 plus 1. So 2 squared is 4 times 3 is 12. And then negative 8 times 2 is negative 16 plus 1. So that gives us what? Negative 3. So that means the slope of the tangent at 2, negative 3 is negative 3. Okay? So the perpendicular to the tangent has a slope of A. That's an A right there. I don't know what the heck that really is, but all right, let's just do that again. A, close enough. Slope of, so we got to take that negative 3 and we got to flip it and switch it. Flip it over. It's now 1 over 3. It was negative. It is now positive. There's our slope. So then that negative 1/3 goes in right here, or positive 1/3, excuse me. 1/3. So we get y plus 3 equals, distribute this through, we got 1/3 x, and then 1/3 of negative 2 is negative 2/3. Subtract 3 from both sides, and we get y equals 1/3 x minus 3 2/3, right? Now, that's the equation of the normal. It's asking us, when is this going to meet the curve again? Okay, so what we got to do is we got to enter in this here to our graphing calculator and our original equation as well. So let's go back to y equals, and I'm going to enter those in. Okay, so here's the equation. Really in the graphing calculator to do 3 2/3. Doesn't really like mixed numbers, so I'm going to put, it should be negative 3 minus 2/3. Or what we could do is we could take this 3 2/3 and turn it into a mixed number here. So 3 times 3 is 9 plus 2 is, it's 11. So it's minus 11 thirds. Let's put that in there instead. That will make it look a little nicer. Sorry, it's a little glitchy. Minus 11 thirds. There, that's going to give us a better chance of having this correct. Okay, so it's going to go through and graph. First, it's going to graph our original equation here, which, look, it's got a double turn there. And then it's going to graph this one here. And let's see, this is at 2, -3. So here's our tangent line right here. So there's our normal, and it says where does it intersect again? It actually intersects in 2 spots, here and here. So to find what those spots are, we do second trace, and we're going to go back to number 5, intersect. And we want to find both of those. So I'm going to just scroll this over, make sure it's closer to one or the other. And it says, is that the first curve? Yep. Is this the second curve? Yep. You want us to guess? Sure. Why not? Just tell me the answer. There we go. Negative 1.08 and negative 4.03. 4.03 is 1, and it hits at another point. Let's figure out what that one is. So we can do the same thing. Second trace, which is calculate. Go to number 5 here, push enter. And now we want to find that one. So we just want to scroll this thing over until we get closest to this intersection point. If I do this right here, it's going to give me this intersection point, but I don't want that one. That's the one that we already started with, so I'm going to make sure it's closer to that one. So first curve, yep. Second curve, red, yep. Guess, sure. And it's going to give us an answer of positive 3.08 and negative 2.64. And those are the other 2 points where the normal meets this curve again. Okay? Okay, that's all the notes we have for normals. If you have any further questions, please feel free to ask. Thanks.